Byte of truth. Lobster bots, default passwords, and Europe's unicorn boom.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Byte of Truth. I'm your host, Sebastien. Let's start today with a question that sums up the current state of technology in 2026. Would you give your credit card details to a virtual lobster? That isn't a riddle. It's a real dilemma facing 100,000 developers on GitHub right now who have fallen in love with OpenClaw, formerly known as Moltbot, a viral AI assistant with a crustacean mascot that lives on your computer and wants to automate your life. It has what the internet is calling trash panda energy, and it represents the chaotic, fascinating, and slightly terrifying leap we are taking into Agentic AI. But while we're busy giving lobsters our passwords, the geopolitical stakes are rising. We've got Russian hackers breaching the Polish power grid using tactics from the 90s. We've got Europe birthing 5 new billion-dollar companies in a single month. And we've got Google trying to put 1 million data centers in orbit. It is a lot. So today, we're cutting through the noise. We're going to look at the new science that proves your multi-agent strategy might be a waste of money, while Europe's tech scene is finally growing teeth, and the terrifying reality of critical infrastructure security. I'm Sebastian, and this is Byte of Truth.
Research breakthroughs.
Let's kick things off with the research desk, because this week, we got a reality check delivered straight from Google DeepMind. For the last year, the buzzword in every boardroom has been agents. The idea is, instead of one chatbot, you build a swarm of them. One to research, one to write, one to edit. The assumption has always been, more agents equals better results. Well, not so fast. A new paper titled Towards a Science of Scaling Agent Systems just dropped, and it effectively calls that bluff. Google researchers ran 180 different configurations to test this hypothesis, and they found that more agents is actually a myth. Here is the math. For parallel tasks like financial analysis, where you need to crunch a lot of numbers at once, multi-agent systems improved performance by over 80%. That makes sense. More hands make light work. But for sequential tasks like planning a trip or coding a complex feature, where order matters, multi-agent systems actually hurt performance by nearly 70%. Why? Because the agents amplify each other's errors. One agent makes a mistake, passes it to the next, and suddenly you've built a Rube Goldberg machine of failure. This is critical for anyone building AI products right now. Stop trying to turn everything into a hive mind. If the task requires logic and sequence, a single high-quality model beats a messy swarm every time. On the flip side, we have some fascinating research on how these models learn. A study out of Science Daily details an AI that talks to itself. It uses a form of internal mumbling, a short-term memory loop where the system chats with itself before giving a final answer. This allows it to learn faster and adapt to new tasks using way less training data. And finally, for our European listeners, there's the Atlas project. This is Google's deep dive into scaling loss for multilingual models. We know that 50% of AI users speak a language other than English, yet 95% of our training data is English. Atlas looked at 400 languages and found something fascinating: the curse of multilinguality. It turns out some languages help each other, like Norwegian and Swedish, or Catalan and Spanish, but others compete for resources. If we want AI to actually work for the entire continent, we can't just dump all the data in one bucket. We need to architect these models with an understanding of linguistic genealogy. It's not just about translation. It's about cultural preservation in the age of algorithms.
Corporate moves and industry shifts.
Moving from the lab to the market, let's talk money. Specifically, a lot of it. The big story in Europe is a sudden surge in unicorns, private startups valued at over $1 billion. In January alone, we saw 5 new ones emerge. And these aren't just fluffy crypto apps. We are talking serious infrastructure. We've got Aikido in Belgium, which just raised $60 million in Series B funding for cybersecurity, proving Europe can compete globally on defense tech. We've got Harmattan in France, a defense AI startup founded only in 2024 that is now worth $1.4 billion. And then there is the resilient story of the month, Preply. Preply is a language learning platform with a team of 150 people based in Kyiv, Ukraine. Despite the war, they've hit unicorn status by doubling down on AI-enhanced tutoring. It is a powerful reminder that innovation often happens under pressure. Across the pond, the money is getting even bigger. Waymo, the robotaxi giant, is reportedly raising a staggering $16 billion in a new funding round. To put that in perspective, that is more than the GDP of Luxembourg. This would value the company at $110 billion. Their parent company, Alphabet, is putting up most of the cash, because the race to autonomous vehicles isn't a sprint anymore. It's an arms race. They are expanding to Miami, though if you saw the news about them stalling out during a San Francisco blackout, you might want to keep your driver's license handy for a little while longer. And then, there is SpaceX. Elon Musk's company has filed a request with the FCC to launch 1 million satellite data centers. They claim it's the most efficient way to meet accelerating AI computing power demand. 1 million. The FCC has approved about 7,500 of the 22,000 requested Starlink satellites so far. But SpaceX is thinking big, like Kardashev 2-level civilization big. Whether this is a serious infrastructure plan or a wild negotiating tactic remains to be seen, but it signals a shift. The cloud isn't just in Virginia anymore. It's heading to orbit.
Ethical debates and policy news.
Now, we have to pivot to the serious stuff. Because while we are launching data centers into space, our security on the ground is, frankly, embarrassing. A report from Polish CERT revealed that Russian government hackers recently breached the Polish power grid. They got into wind farms, solar installations, and a heat power plant. Now, when you hear Russian state hackers, you imagine zero-day exploits and quantum decryption, right? Wrong. They got in because the operators were using default usernames and passwords. No multi-factor authentication. In 2006, it's like leaving the keys to the nuclear plant under the doormat labeled key. The attackers deployed wiper malware code, designed purely to destroy systems. It was described as digital arson. This is a stark warning for Europe. As we digitize our critical infrastructure, our operational security hygiene is stuck in the 90s. You can have the best AI defense in the world, but if your password is admin123, you have already lost. On a more personal note, there was a chilling breach involving an AI toy company called Bondu. They left a web console unprotected, exposing 50,000 chat logs between children and their AI stuffed animals. Anyone with a Gmail account could have read them. It raises a dark question about AI safety. When we invite AI into our children's bedrooms, who is holding the keys? These aren't just data points. They are the inner thoughts and voices of kids. We are rushing to build emotional AI, but we are building it on a foundation of tissue paper privacy.
Tools and practical updates.
All right, let's lighten the mood and look at the tools you might actually use this week, starting with that Lobster I mentioned earlier. There is a viral AI tool called OpenClaw, previously known as Moltbot and Claudebot before they ran into trademark trouble. It's a local AI assistant that connects to your apps. It went viral, hitting 100,000 GitHub stars in 2 months. Users are giving it access to their Amazon accounts, their credit cards, their calendars. It automates everything. It's fast, it's local, and it's incredibly powerful. But it's also a security nightmare waiting to happen. They even launched Moltbook, a social network where these AI assistants talk to each other. It's cool, it's innovative, but please, for the love of security, don't give it your main credit card just yet. If you prefer your AI from a big tech giant, Google is pushing Auto Browse in Chrome. It's an agent that surfs the web for you. Wired magazine tested it out by trying to book symphony tickets. The result? The bot followed the instructions perfectly. It bought tickets, but it bought them in separate rows, completely defeating the purpose of a date night. It picked the top 3 shopping results with 0 qualitative judgment. It's a perfect example of the agentic gap. The AI can execute the what, but it fails completely on the why. For enterprise users, Anthropic is updating Cowork. This adds plugins to Claude, allowing it to handle specialized tasks like legal review and marketing content. It's a move to make Claude not just a chatbot, but an actual coworker that can access your internal tools. And finally, for the robotics nerds, keep an eye on physical intelligence. They are building the brains for robots, backed by Stripe veteran Lackey Groom. The bet is that the timing is finally right for AI to move off the screen and into the physical world. So, what is the bite of truth for this week? It is this. We are standing at a crossroads between incredible sophistication and primitive failure. We are building AI agents that can negotiate contracts and drive cars, but we are protecting our power plants with passwords that should have died with Windows 95. We are launching million satellite constellations while struggling to teach AI to speak Catalan correctly. We are giving lobsters our credit cards because the interface is pretty. The technology is leaping forward, but our wisdom, our security, and our infrastructure are lagging behind. My advice: be excited about the agents. Be skeptical of the hype. And for the love of everything digital, turn on multi-factor authentication. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep asking questions.